Motion by Bernard Ike to pay the bills and transfers. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff
This is the final transfers?
Yes.
for the fiscal
It's for
year.
the fiscal year.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right. Stragglers.
Everything balanced out?
What's that?
Take it all balanced out?
I finally got it balanced,
All right.
yes.
Yeah, she's going to give me the report shortly. She knows I'm anxious about it.
Yeah, he did things.
All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Okay. Next order of business would be an interlocal agreement with Bullitt County. This is to provide Logan Spalding's what they call a level 3 high hazard inspector, and Bullitt County has lost their inspector. Jerry Summers, the judge in Bullitt County, asked if Logan could fill in until they hire someone. There are very few of those people certified to do those inspections. High hazard are things such as whiskey warehouses and anything that would be risk of fire. And that can include a few of the big box stores, the big box warehouses. Only until they find someone. This won't be a permanent thing. And if you look to section 4, Bullitt County will collect the fees and we will bill them back for our cost. I mean, this won't be a permanent thing as far as probably 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 a year, probably at most. Whiskey warehouses, Bullitt County is Beam is getting ready to build a bunch of whiskey warehouses, both in Nelson and Bullitt. And they can average anywhere from, I think, Rhonda, correct me if I'm wrong, $3,000 to $5,000 per warehouse inspection fee. And that's helped us a lot over the years, those whiskey warehouses.
Well, does Logan see where this is not a problem, where he's gonna make?
No, he's the one that brought it to my attention because Jerry called him.
I'd say as long as it's not bothering Nelson County
Yeah, he'll make it
inspections.
work.
Take a motion.
No money, need a motion to approve the agreement.
Make the motion to approve the interlocal.
Motion's been made by Jeff. Is there a second? Second by Keith. Further discussion? All approve, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. That is one department that is self-sufficient, guys, and taxpayers are not subsidizing that department. The fees cover the costs. Okay, the next order of business would be the revised pay rate order. The state, July 1, or sometime in July, gave a whopping 15 cent an hour increase on the state incentive pay for the sheriff deputies and the city police and so forth. So we have to adjust that on our pay rate order that you guys approved in June, May or June. And those adjustments have been made on the sheet that we passed out to you. So I would need a motion to approve the pay rate order, amended pay rate order as presented.
Also make that motion.
Motion by Gary, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. All approved, say aye. Aye. Disapprove? The motion will carry. Okay. Jail report.
As of this morning, we have 109 inmates. 40 of them are state, 69 are county, 43 are waiting for circuit court cases, 26 wait for district court cases, 87 are males, and 22 are females.
Have they started on the locks yet, Buck?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm gonna call, when I get back to there, I'll call him.
Okay. Recreation report. Derek couldn't be here this morning. He had something he was taking care of at the park. EMS report.
No report today.
No report today. Okay. Landfill solid waste report.
Quick reminder, we're a day behind this week. We were off Monday for the holiday, so basically every day's behind, and Friday's garbage will be picked up on Saturday. We got our annual survey numbers back for the previous year. We got 365,180 cubic yards remaining. We average around 95 to 99,000 cubic yards a year. So that leaves us 3.8 years what we have right now. Our next phase that we're working on is 6.7 acres, which has a volume of 659,450 cubic yards. That gives us 6.5 years with this next phase that we're working on right now.
So a total of about 10.
Yes.
Once we get, then on our permit, these other phases will be approved, right? We just have to build
So based on our permit, we'll have the whole
thing approved.
whole 40 acres approved, and we can buy and chew off however much we need every couple of years to get that going.
Okay? Do you want to advertise for some materials?
Yes, we have two things. We want to go ahead and we want to start looking at probably our liners for the landfill and our pea gravel for our drainage layers. I just want to make sure that we have it here in time. I need to start checking lead times. That way, if we can get it here, just like we did for our force main sewer bid, we went ahead and bid the pipe and got the pipe here before the contractor was here. That way, if there's a long lead time, then we can go ahead and get it, and it'll be waiting for us. That way we're not
So,
waiting.
two things, the liner material we need to advertise, and the pea gravel, right?
Yes.
And the pipe.
And the pipe.
And the pipe.
Three
and the
things.
pipe. Three things.
The pipe, that's for basically the leachate collection layer at the bottom. The pea gravel, which is a drainage layer at the bottom of the landfill, and it's used to protect and make sure you don't have any like protruding waste, 2x4s, anything going through the liner.
How thick is that?
The gravel is a foot thick.
Foot thick. Where's that come from?
We got it from Louisville, was it so many years ago, we did it last time.
They can pull it out of the river,
Pull it out of the river.
clean it and bring it to us.
Cloverport's got some too.
Yes, that's where it came from last couple times. It's smart on the speed gravel to give them a long time to bring it. So it's like a fill-in day for them, right? If it's raining or whatnot.
Right.
they'll Get it, or when winter comes.
Right.
So if you can go on and bid it
So they
out,
can
get that
haul it.
set up,
Yeah.
and you give them a long time frame to do it, you may push the price down a little bit, is what you're hoping. That's what it's hoping for.
And
Can you put it close to where it needs to go?
Yes, basically the same spot it was. I don't know if you've been back to the back where roll-up boxes are.
Yes, yes.
We have a big area right there, and our next phase is gonna be, if you go around where the roll-offs, the tire pile, you keep going around where the big shell bank is,
Yes.
that's basically the first phase we're gonna do. So we'll basically stockpile it here, and it'll be ready to use.
So that way you won't have to do a lot of transport.
explain maybe to some of the folks in the audience here today, you basically dig this hole in the ground, I'm using simplistic terms, and you line it with a plastic liner. It's how many mil, like 80? 80 mil. I remember that.
8 mil?
80.
80.
80.
mil plastic. It's
60
like a big
required,
swimming
use
pool.
80.
And then you place some slotted pipe. The slotted pipe has holes in the top, and when you throw garbage in your cans and so forth, it creates a lot of liquid. If you've seen the garbage trucks pull up down the road every once in a while, some of it will kind of fall out. Well, the landfill's full of that stuff. So that liquid goes down into those slotted pipes and runs down to a drain. And over top of that piping is pea gravel. I think I've got it right so far. And the pea gravel protects the whole, and it's permeable.
Permeable.
Yeah, and it goes down through it, and then we pump it to the city's sewer treatment plant to treat that liquid. Some of that stuff's pretty nasty. And that's why landfills have to be built this way under state and federal regulations. I guess now federal, right? Yeah.
I think I know what you're gonna do is your next job now.
I think, John, your job may be in jeopardy.
Yeah, you better watch out, John.
But let me just say this, from day one, the landfill business has been real interesting to me. If it is a business, there's no doubt about it. But the technology used is pretty creative. I just found it interesting. Anybody got any questions? Ask John if you got any questions. Okay, thanks, John.
Of course, they'll bring those bids back to court.
Yeah.
For approval.
You gotta do a motion.
Motion to approve. Yeah. The advertisement.
Advertise.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the advertised for bids.
Second by Jeff. All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Disapprove, and motion will carry.
One more thing, Tommy Bears, he's our foreman, and he has a base we call it a pup truck, and it has over a couple 100,000 miles on it. We put money in this previous year's budget, what I've been trying to get every last penny out of that truck. I'd like to advertise to replace that truck. It has over 200,000 miles on it.
The pup truck is just a pickup truck with a small dump on the back of it. Is it a ton truck?
Yes.
Ton truck, and it's got a little small thing and it dumps. the
Thing's
truck.
already got 200,000 miles on it.
2017 when we bought that.
Was that in last year's budget?
It's in this year's
Is
budget.
it coming up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Need a motion to advertise. Motion by Bernard Ice, is there a second? Second by Keith. All approve, say aye.
Wow.
Disapprove? Motion carries. You good,
That's
John?
all I had.
Okay. Road Department report. Lee?
We trimmed and sprayed weeds on curve at 215 Humphrey Lane. That was to improve sight distance for a resident that's having trouble in their driveway. We removed some bamboo and pine trees on the right-of-way at 516 Ed Powell Road. We trimmed trees on Ballard Lane. It got pretty woolly there.
Thanks.
And we cleared vegetation and curve near the landfill entrance on Airport Road. This was to improve sight distance in that little intersection. We did do some asphalt patching on Harrison Fork Road. We finished up on it. We did Independence Avenue and Liberty Heights subdivision. And we replaced 3 culverts on Hall Simpson Road. We have 4 remaining on that road before it'll be ready for overlay. It had several culverts that needed to be replaced. And we replaced a culvert at 1625 Mobley Mill Road. Had a small ditch project on Wilkerson Road, 37, right there at the corner of Old Bloomfield Road. And then we did a small road repair on Hagan Road in Bloomfield. Just had a small hole in the road that we needed to fix. We provided help for the Feed America program. And our mowers are in District 1. That's the last district of round 2. So after we finish there, we'll start our 3rd round of mowing. That's all I got.
Questions, really?
I have a question on that. Ed Powell, did you get all the bamboo, the right way up? What about the stumps that she sent us?
We
Gotta go back to get that.
Yeah.
You gotta go back and get that?
I didn't want to shut a paving crew down to go do that.
I understand.
So we'll get back to it when we can.
Okay.
He brought up Harrison Fork, Dean and Jeff. We have gotten 1 of the 3 permits from Division of Water, Division of Water Quality, wants an erosion and control plan, and hopefully through Army Corps of Engineers, we'll get what's called a linear transportation permit, which is a generic general permit. So still waiting on those 2 permits. You know, I've informed you guys though that just takes a while because that's a special string. So that's it.
Okay. Under old new business, in your mailbox, there's a tax moratorium. I was a little off my schedule, didn't get that into your mail Friday. And this is a house that's right on the alley there by Jimmy Willett's office down here on East Stephen Foster. That was actually General Moore's mother's home. And they're, Ryan and his wife are redoing that house and applied for the moratorium.
I'm so make the motion.
Is that your district, Robert?
Yep.
Yeah. Motion's been made by Keith to approve, a second by Gary. All approve, say aye. Disapprove, and motion will carry. For those that are in the audience, the tax moratorium is allowed by the state statutes, and whatever you pay for the property, if you're putting money into the property, the assessment will not go up for 5 years. And that is transferable to property, and the property has to be so many years, like 25 years old, I believe, or is it 25 or 50? I can't remember exactly. 25, I think, yeah. But it's been a good program. People are really reinvesting into properties, and it makes you, then eventually it will go back on the rolls at a higher price. The next is a lease agreement with the Veterans Park. I sent you guys a copy of that, and the changes that we asked Matthew to make, Gary in particular, for a little longer term lease.
I have one issue on that. I've read through it and appreciate that, changing that to 10 to 50 years. But on number 15, re-entry, it says that we can cancel the term of the lease at any time. I don't think that's something we should have that in there, because new fiscal court, like I said, about the 10 years, they could come in and say, we want this land back. So we've got tied up for the veterans.
Suppose it goes sour.
How would it go sour?
How's anything go sour?
Well, if you've got a,
If you don't think it'll happen, it will happen.
you have a, something in here about the upkeep and all that. Basically, that's all it is, the upkeep of the park, and it's in the contract. But the re-entry, you know, what's the point of doing 50 years if you can pull the rug out from under them at any time?
Well,
There's got to be something in there that says you can't do
There's not.
that. I mean, why would they want to invest money into something that can be pulled at any
You
time?
tell me why a fiscal court would want to do that.
Pull it? Why would they want to pull it? That's right, they shouldn't want to pull it. So
You just gotta have it in there for a backup.
Politically,
No, I
it would be
disagree.
suicide.
I disagree.
I'm talking about,
90-day, it's a 90-day lease as far as we're concerned. And I'm talking about our committee.
uh-huh.
That paragraph 15 on third page.
Was that in the original, that was in the original?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Presented,
yes.
yeah.
I mean, we really thought we were getting a 99-year lease,
Well-
which is a lifetime.
Well, I never promised that though, Jerry. I never promised a 99-year lease.
Please?
I said a long-term lease.
Yeah, well, I thought it was 99 years,
Yeah.
but so then we drop back to.
Well, that does kind of make it a
Now we're back to
90-day
50
lease.
years.
I'm okay with striking that, Matthew.
striking what, number 15?
Number 15.
Good,
It's not that big a deal.
good. I agree.
I've got a question on the, said the tenant agrees to pay for future, the lights and stuff.
Yeah.
If that's just, if it stays as a park, like 10 years from now, who knows what might happen if they decide to build a 10-story high-rise on it? Are we gonna pay for the utilities then?
Y'all are really dreaming, aren't you?
I mean, it's just like you just said, things happen.
Y'all are really dreaming. We're paying the utilities now for the lights out in the parking lot.
Just the lights.
Yeah. And there'll be some electric plugs if you have a speaker or something, there'll be minimum.
There will be, and there will
see-
be lights there. It'll be
Yeah.
lighted park.
Yeah.
The contract says, Keith, is there any difference in
Y'all
this
really
land that we,
overthinking this.
the fiscal court would have to okay it? So they can't just come in and build something without the fiscal court okaying. Correct?
Oh, yeah, that's what it says there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's, we agreed to that.
Yeah.
We run, they're designed from start to finish, it's approved, and we run it by you for your
Right.
approval.
But now that, section 15, it was in the previous one I had passed out, so I wouldn't, that's usually standard operating procedure for any lease. But I understand the reasons, Jerry. I understand, no problem on my part.
So do we need to wait on making a motion to approve this until that gets stricken?
No, we can approve it, striking number 15.
And I noticed a typo just as I'm sitting here, just on the term of the lease, if it's 50 years and commencing in 2022, it would be 2072. I've got 2022
Yeah.
there for some reason, it's just a typo, so I'll fix that too.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you, Judge, what was that?
There's a typo on that first one, Jerry, where it
Yeah.
says term. If it's a
Yes.
50-year lease starting in 2022, it's going to go into 2072 instead of 2082. I just,
Okay.
I just had a typo.
I saw that. Thank you.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the lease agreement, striking item 15 from the contract.
And the corrections that Matthew pointed
Yeah,
out.
and corrections that Matthew just pointed out.
Thank you. So motion's been made. Second by Eric. Any further discussion? All approved, say aye. Disapprove? And motion will carry. Thank you, Jerry, for your efforts.
I will have to run this by our committee and get their approval before we can sign.
Yeah, that's
And
fine.
we'll meet next week to do that, so.
Okay. And again, don't have to present us with the final plans. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're working on that as we speak, so.
Thank you. That's all I have, guys. You got anything for the court today? Magistrates, Matthew, you got anything? Otherwise, entertain a motion to adjourn. Motion by Bernard Ice to adjourn. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
Y'all want to stay hang around a while and talk? Second by Eric. All approved, say aye. Disapprove? Motion will carry. Thank you all. That's the end.
yeah, sure.